They called me a burden after I spent my whole life sacrificing for them. My own son smashed my nursing badge, the one I wore for 40 years, and shouted, "This means nothing now, Mom." But the truth? He and his fiancée used my savings to throw a $50,000 wedding, then shoved me in front of the guests when I questioned the bill. I was just their bank. My name is Nora. I'm 78 years old. I gave up art school, worked double ER shifts, and buried the love of my life. I thought that would earn me love, respect. It didn't. But if you stay with me, I'll show you how I exposed their lies, walked away, and started a brand new life with nothing but a cane, a letter from my late husband, and a garden full of marigolds. Because the day I held that letter in my hands, the one that said, "Jim, you swore to care for Nora," I knew he lied, and I chose myself. If you're a mother who's ever felt invisible, don't scroll, because silence won't save your dignity, but speaking up might. Before I share the rest, I want to know something about you. Do you usually go to bed early, or do you stay up late like I do, listening to the rain? Leave a 1 in the comments if you're an early sleeper, 2 if you're a night owl, or 3 if it depends on the day. I'm reading every comment, and I'd love to send you a special little wave from Lakewood. Now, let's keep going together. Rain taps my Lakewood home, each drop echoing my loneliness. Was I ever their mother, or just their bank? The window pane is cold under my fingertips, the glass fogging with my breath. It's 2024, and my 2-story Victorian creaks like my bones, old but stubborn. Outside, the spring rain drums a steady rhythm, mirroring the ache in my chest. A farmer's market flyer curls on the kitchen counter, promising fresh strawberries, but I haven't gone in weeks. The scent of apple pie drifts from Mrs. Larson's house next door, sweet and warm, a cruel contrast to the chill inside me. I'm Eleanor Bennett, Nora to those who know me, 78 and widowed for 15 years. Henry's gone, and my kids, Jim and Clara, might as well be. My sacrifices, all those double shifts as a nurse, seem to have vanished into this gray sky. I shuffle to the mantel, my cane clicking on the hardwood. Henry's photo stares back, his engineer's suit crisp, his smile shy. "Henry, did I give too much?" I whisper, tracing the frame's dust. I skipped art school to pay for Jim's college, Clara's dance lessons, our mortgage. I worked nights, bandaging wounds, soothing fevers, while Henry built bridges and promised we'd travel one day. Lung cancer stole him before we could. Jim was 37 then, Clara 32. I thought grief would bind us. Instead, it built walls. Jim calls only for money, car repairs, vacations. Clara hasn't called in months, not since I missed her wedding for a hospital shift. Was it all for nothing? The phone buzzes, snapping me back. It's Ethan, my grandson, his face lighting up the screen on a video call. "Grandma, tell me about saving that patient again." His voice is bright, a biology major's curiosity shining through. I smile, tucking a gray strand behind my ear, but my heart twinges. Clara's silence lingers like a bruise. "Oh, Ethan, it was just a night in the ER," I say, settling into my armchair, its cushions worn soft. A boy came in, barely breathing. Asthma attack. I stayed calm, got the nebulizer, held his hand till he could smile. Ethan grins, his dorm room a mess of books behind him. "You're my hero, Grandma." His words warm me, a flicker of light in the gloom. I don't tell him how Jim's calls have dwindled, how Clara's resentment stings. "You're sweet, honey," I say, my voice catching. "How's college?" We chat about his exams, his new girlfriend, and I cling to his laughter. It's the only sound that fills this house now, besides the rain. As we hang up, my smile fades. Ethan's the only one who sees me, not just my checkbook. I gave up so much, my dreams, my nights, for Jim and Clara. Did they ever notice? I wonder, staring at the rain-slicked window, the world blurring beyond it. My phone pings again, a text this time. George, Henry's brother, his words sharp. "Stop moping, Nora. Live a little. I scoff, my fingers tightening on the phone. George, always the practical one, envied Henry's success, his bridges, our life. He thinks I dwell too much on the past, but he doesn't know the weight of an empty house. I set the phone down, my knees aching as I move to Henry's study. The door creaks, the air musty with old books and memories. I dust his desk, my cloth pausing over a faded notebook. A slip of paper peeks out, Henry's neat scrawl, Jim's promise. My breath catches, fingers trembling. Henry never mentioned a promise. What did Jim swear to do? The words stir something in me, a spark of hope amid the hurt. I gave up everything for my kids. Nights sketching by lamplight, dreams of painting in Paris. But family is family, no matter how far they drift. I resolve to hold on, to find a way back to Jim and Clara, even if it's just a thread. The notebook's weight feels heavy, like a secret waiting to break free. They're my family, I murmur, my voice steady despite the ache, no matter what. But the study door's lock holds tight, hiding Henry's secret. What did Jim promise? I stand there, rain softening outside, a neighbor's BBQ sizzle drifting through the window. The smell of charred burgers mixes with the apple pie, pulling me toward tomorrow. I'll find that key, unlock whatever Henry left behind. For now, I clutch the note, my heart whispering a question I can't shake. Was I their mother, or just their caretaker? Jim's call cracks the silence, his voice tense. Mom, I need your help. Again. I'm sitting in my living room, the faded photos on the mantel staring down like ghosts. The TV hums low, buzzing about Lakewood's spring fair, its promise of cotton candy and Ferris wheels a world away from my quiet. The scent of apple pie drifts from the coffee shop down the street, mingling with the musty smell of my old couch. That note from Henry's study, Jim's promise, burns in my mind, a question I can't answer. What did he swear to do? My cane rests against the armrest, my knees stiff from the morning's chill. I'm Eleanor Bennett, Nora to most, 78 and clinging to threads of family that keep unraveling. The phone's ring jolts me, Jim's name flashing. My heart lifts, then sinks. He only calls when he wants something. Mom, it's me, he says, his voice tight like he's pacing. I'm getting married to Vanessa. We're doing it at Lakeside Estate, and it's a big deal. I need your help with the costs. I grip the phone, my knuckles pale. Lakeside Estate, that sprawling mansion by the lake, all marble and chandeliers. It's once in a lifetime, Mom, he adds, softer, like he knows it's a hook. I remember his car loan, never repaid, the vacation funds he swore he'd return. It's a lot, Jim, I say, my voice thin. I know, but it's for love, he replies, a salesman's charm in his tone. I close my eyes, picturing the boy who used to draw bridges with Henry, not this man chasing status. I'll think about it, I murmur, but my heart whispers, this could bring him back. My phone pings as we hang up. Ethan, my grandson, texting, Grandma, Vanessa's trouble. Be careful. His words sting, a warning from an 18-year-old who sees more than his dad. I text back, it's for family, honey. But my fingers hesitate. Ethan's always been my light. His video calls full of college stories and laughter, but he's right to worry. Jim's different now, hardened by his failed tech startup, those debts he never mentions. I shuffle to the kitchen, the floorboards creaking, and pour tea. The kettle's whistle sharp. Did I give too much? All those years? Nursing shifts, skipping sleep to pay for Jim's college, Clara's dance lessons. I wanted them to soar, but now I'm grounded, alone. The doorbell chimes, and I hobble to open it. Vanessa stands there, her blonde hair sleek, her smile tight as a drum. Nora, so good to see you, she says, stepping inside without asking. Her eyes scan the room, lingering on my silver tea set, a gift from my mother. So quaint, she says, her voice honeyed but cold. I offer her tea, my hands unsteady. We're making the wedding perfect, she continues, sitting on my couch, her manicured nails tapping. Lakeside's the best. Lavender themes, live music, 100 guests. Her gaze sharpens like she's pricing my life. Jim says you're helping out. It'll be stunning. I nod, my throat tight. I want Jim happy, I say, but her smile doesn't reach her eyes. Of course, Nora, it's all for love. She excuses herself to the bathroom, her purse left on the couch. Her phone buzzes and I glance over, not meaning to pry. The screen lights up. We need her money fast, she's saying, her voice low, urgent. My heart stumbles. Who's on the other end? I turn away, pretending I didn't hear, but the words claw at me. Vanessa returns, all smiles. We'll invite you to the planning, Nora. It'll be grand. I force a nod, my fingers curling around my cane. Sounds lovely, I manage, but doubt creeps in, cold as the rain outside. She leaves, her heels clicking, and I sink into my chair, the tea cold in my cup. I pull out my checkbook, the pen heavy. This wedding could mend us, pull Jim back from wherever he's gone. I gave up art school, nights with Henry for my kids. Maybe this is my chance to be more than a bank. I write the check, my hand shaking, the amount dizzying. This will bring us closer, I whisper, but Vanessa's words echo. We need her money fast. My phone pings again, Ethan's text. You sure about this, Grandma? I don't reply. I want to believe in Jim and family, but that call lingers, a shadow I can't shake. The TV drones on, spring fair music fading. Do they love me or just my savings? I stare at the check, my heart heavy but hopeful, fraying like an old quilt. Vanessa mentioned a tight deadline on that call, but with whom? The question gnaws, pulling me toward Lakeside Estate's grandeur, where my hope might unravel. Vanessa's sneer slices through Lakeside Estate's buzz. Your era's over, Nora. The marble floors gleam under my feet, and soft jazz hums from a quartet in the corner. Lakeside Estate sprawls before me, its floral arches dripping with lavender and white roses, a spring breeze carrying the scent of grilled chicken from the kitchen. Guests sip craft beer, their laughter mingling with clinking glasses, planning toasts for Jim's wedding. I'm Eleanor Bennett, Nora, 78. My cane steadying me as I navigate this glittering world. Henry's note, Jim's promise, burns in my mind, a shadow I can't shake. What did my son swear to do? I came here to help plan, to be part of Jim's day, but my heart's heavy, hurt by his distance. Clara's silence. I smooth my cardigan, my blue dress underneath feeling out of place. Claire Thompson, the wedding planner, nods as I suggest, Marlowe wine's good, saves some cost. Vanessa, sleek in a cream blazer, scoffs, her eyes sharp. This isn't a cheap wedding, Nora. Her voice carries, and guests glance over, their murmurs like needles. I flush, gripping my cane. Just a thought, I mumble, but her smirk cuts deeper. I wanted to help, to feel included, but I'm an outsider here, my nursing days. Double shifts, missed dreams, forgotten. The jazz hums on, mocking my hope. I gave up art school for Jim, for Clara, but do they even care? Jim strides in, his suit crisp, his smile tight. Mom, you're early, he says, barely looking at me. Claire hands him a seating chart, and I seize my chance. Jim, I worked so hard for you and Clara, I say, my voice soft but firm. Nursing nights, paying for your college. His jaw tightens and he snaps. You never did anything for me, Mom. The words hit like a slap, loud enough for Claire to shift uncomfortably, her pen pausing. Guests turn, eyes wide. I gave up art school for you, I retort, my voice shaking, tears pricking. If your own child told you your sacrifices meant nothing, right in front of everyone, what would you do? Would you stay silent or finally stand up? If you're still here, drop a 6 in the comments. What comes next still makes my chest ache. Jim rolls his eyes. Don't guilt trip me. My heart cracks, his denial a public wound. Was I ever enough? The scent of grilled chicken turns sour in my throat. I step outside, the breeze cooling my burning cheeks. My phone pings. Lily Carter, my friend from the library's computer class. "You're stronger than them, Nora," her text reads. "I lost my daughter to pride. Don't lose yourself." Her words stir me, her own estrangement a mirror to my pain. I met Lily months ago, her wit sharp despite her 70 years, her story of losing her daughter to a career fight echoing my own. I text back, "Trying, Lily." But Vanessa's voice interrupts, calling from the terrace. "Nora, your dress," she says, her tone dripping disdain. "So boomer. Get lavender or silver, something modern." I clench my jaw. It's my best dress. She laughs. "Your era's over, Nora." Guests nearby chuckle, and I feel small, erased. I drive to the mall, fuming, my hands tight on the wheel. I won't be erased, I think, buying a lavender dress, its fabric soft but heavy with defiance. My phone chimes again, an email from Henry's old colleague, Tom. "Henry made Jim promise to care for you," it reads. My breath catches. A promise? Henry never told me. The betrayal stings, Jim's denial echoing. "You never did anything." I gave up everything, night sketching, dreams of Paris, for him. Now this email hints at a vow he broke, a secret locked away. My anger rises, a fire kindling in my chest. Back home, the jazz from Lakeside fades in my mind, replaced by my house's quiet, the floorboards creaking under my steps. Did I sacrifice for nothing? The question claws at me, my pulse quickening as I head to Henry's study. Tom's email mentioned a letter Henry left, but where? I rummage through drawers, papers fluttering, my fingers trembling with purpose. The locked study door looms, hiding Henry's truth. I need to find that letter to understand Jim's promise. For now, I clutch the email's words, my anger a spark in the dark, ready to flare. Henry's diary shakes me, its pages whispering Jim's debts. Did I raise him to betray me? The air in my Lakewood home feels heavy, cluttered with memories that cling like dust. My Victorian house creaks, its faded wallpaper a reminder of better days with Henry. I'm Eleanor Bennett, Nora, 78, my cane tapping as I pace the living room. That email from Henry's colleague, Tom, echoes in my mind. He made Jim promise to care for you. A promise Jim broke, just like he's breaking my heart. Outside, vendors call from the farmer's market, their voices carrying through the open window, mingling with the scent of apple pie from the coffee shop across the street. I clutch my phone, Vanessa's sneer from Lakeside Estate still stinging, her words, "Your era's over." Cutting deep. I wanted to be part of Jim's wedding, to feel like family, but I'm just their bank. I drive to the coffee shop, the hum of Lakewood's spring bustle fading as I step inside. The aroma of brewing espresso wraps around me, pie crumbs scattered on the table where Lily Carter waits. Her gray curls bounce as she waves, her 70-year-old smile warm but sharp. "Nora, you look like you've seen a ghost," she says, pushing a plate of apple pie toward me. I settle into the booth, my hands unsteady. "It's Jim," I say, my voice low. "I gave up art school for him, Lily, all those nursing shifts." She leans in, her eyes soft. "I know, Nora. My daughter cut me off over my teaching career. Don't let Jim do that to you." Her words hit home, her estrangement a mirror to my pain. I sip my coffee, the bitterness matching my mood. "I thought this wedding would bring us closer," I murmur, but Lily shakes her head. "You're stronger than his neglect." My phone buzzes, Vanessa's name flashing like a warning. I answer, bracing myself. "Nora, your dress," she snaps, her voice sharp as glass. "It's funeral clothes. Get something modern or you'll ruin my photos." My cheeks burn, the coffee shop's chatter fading. "I'm trying, Vanessa," I retort, my voice tight, but she laughs, cold and cutting. "Try harder, Nora. This is my day." She hangs up, leaving me hollow. The pie's sweetness sours in my mouth. I gave up everything for Jim, nights sketching, dreams of Paris, but his fiancée sees me as a relic. Lily squeezes my hand. Don't let her erase you, Nora. Her words spark defiance, a flicker of anger in my chest. I nod, gripping my cane, determined to hold my ground. Back home, the farmer's market noise softens, replaced by the rustle of papers in Henry's study. My phone pings. Clara, my daughter, leaving a voicemail. "Mom, I was wrong to pull away after my wedding," she says, her voice trembling. "I was hurt you missed it, but can we talk?" My heart catches. Clara's distance a wound I've carried since I worked that hospital shift during her big day. I want to call her, but the locked box from Henry's desk draws me. I pry it open, my fingers shaking, and find his diary. It's leather worn. I read, "Jim's debts started years ago, Nora." My breath stops. Debts? He never told me. The words sting, proof of his secrecy, his betrayal. I gave up so much, and he hid this? I grip the diary, my anger rising like a tide. "I won't be their bank anymore," I whisper, the words of vow. Clara's call, Lily's encouragement, they fuel me, pushing back the hurt. Did Henry see Jim's greed coming? The question gnaws, my pulse quickening as I flip through the diary. A line catches my eye, a letter hidden in Henry's old files. Where is it? I rummage through drawers, papers fluttering like leaves, my resolve hardening. The coffee shop's chatter fades in my mind, replaced by the rustle of Henry's secrets, waiting to be found. Henry's letter breaks my heart. "Jim, you swore to care for Nora." He lied. Papers litter my dining table, a mess of memories in my Lakewood home. I'm Eleanor Bennett, Nora, 78, my hands trembling as I clutch Henry's diary, its hint of Jim's debt still burning in my mind. The Victorian house creaks, its faded curtains swaying in the spring breeze. Outside, the farmer's market hums, but I'm lost in Henry's study, the air thick with dust and secrets. That email from his colleague, Tom, about Jim's promise led me here. I pry open a file cabinet, my cane propped against the desk, and find it, a yellowed letter in Henry's neat scrawl. "Jim, you swore to care for Nora after I'm gone," it reads. My breath catches, my fingers shaking. "You lied, Jim," I whisper, the betrayal cutting like a knife. I gave up art school, worked double shifts as a nurse for him, for Clara, and he swore to Henry he'd care for me, then turned his back. The words blur through my tears, the ink a wound. I sink into Henry's old chair, its leather worn, and clutch the letter. Jim's secrecy, his startup debts hidden all these years, feels like a theft of my sacrifices. I want to call him, demand answers, but my phone stays silent. Clara's voicemail from yesterday, her hesitant, "Can we talk?" lingers. But this letter consumes me. Was I ever enough for them? My heart aches, anger rising like a storm. I tuck the letter into my purse, my resolve hardening. I won't let Jim erase me. Not after everything. I drive to Lakeside Estate, the pre-wedding event bustling with guests sipping craft beer, a string quartet playing softly. The garden glows with fairy lights, the scent of grilled chicken wafting from the kitchen, an American vibe of celebration I don't feel. My lavender dress, bought after Vanessa's jab, feels stiff, my cane clicking on the stone path. Claire Thompson, the planner, greets me, her smile professional. "Nora, you're here," she says, clipboard in hand. Jim approaches, his suit sharp but his eyes tired. "Mom, you're early again," he says, glancing away. I take a breath, the letter's weight heavy in my purse. "Jim, we need to talk about Henry," I start, but he cuts me off. "Your knees can't handle the rehearsal, Mom. Stay out of it." His voice is cold, dismissive. Vanessa saunters over, her smile tight, her eyes glinting. "Stay home, Nora," she laughs, loud enough for Claire to hear. "You're too old for this." Claire shifts awkwardly, her pen pausing as guests turn, their whispers sharp. My cheeks burn, anger flaring. "I paid for this," I snap, but Vanessa's laugh cuts deeper, a public wound. I step away, my hands shaking, and spot Ethan, my grandson, by the buffet. His college hoodie stands out among the suits, his face darkening as he strides over. "Dad, she's your mom," he shouts at Jim, his voice cracking with fairness. "You're wrong to treat her like this." Jim brushes him off. "Stay out of it, Ethan." My heart swells for my boy, 18 and braver than his father. I turn to leave, my cane unsteady, and notice Jim's car parked nearby, its door ajar. A paper peeks from the console, a bank statement listing a loan shark and V. Reed as a contact. My pulse races. Vanessa? Involved in his debts? The letter's truth hits harder, tying her to his betrayal. I slip the statement into my purse, my anger blazing. The quartet's music swells, but it's drowned by my heartbeat, my resolve forming. "Jim betrayed us both, Henry," I murmur, the letter's words a fire in my chest. Was I ever his mother, or just his bank? Ethan's stand, his fierce "you're wrong" echoes, giving me strength. I head to my car, the grilled chicken scent fading, my pen poised over a notebook in my mind. Vanessa's name on that statement. What's her role in this? I need answers, and I'll find them no matter the cost. Vanessa's yell at a guest cracks her charm. She's scared, just like me. The cocktail party at Lakeside Estate hums with slow jazz, the quartet's notes weaving through the crowd. Fairy lights twinkle above the garden, and a photo booth flashes as guests snap Gina Bennett wedding selfies, their laughter sharp against the blooming lilac sweet scent. I'm Eleanor Bennett, Nora, 78, my lavender dress stiff, my cane steady on the stone path. The bank statement I found in Jim's car with V. Reed tied to a loan shark weighs heavy in my purse, right beside Henry's letter. "Jim, you swore to care for Nora," it said, a promise my son broke. My heart burns, anger simmering from his dismissal, Vanessa's mockery. I came to this pre-wedding event hoping to belong, but I'm a shadow in their spotlight. I stand by the buffet, the lilac breeze cooling my flushed cheeks. Vanessa, sleek in a white dress, snaps at a waiter. "Do it right!" Her voice cuts through the jazz, her eyes flashing with something new, fear. Guests pause, their craft beers half raised, and I think, she's not untouchable. Her charm, that polished mask she wore at my house, cracks under pressure. Maybe it's her past, that modest first marriage she hinted at, driving her to cling to this lavish wedding. My anger flares. She mocked me as too old, but she's scared just like me. I grip my cane, the letter's truth fueling me. I want to confront her, demand why her name's on Jim's debts, but fear of losing Jim forever holds me back. George, Henry's brother, approaches, his gray hair neat, his smile forced. "Nora, you're quiet tonight," he says, sipping a soda. I try to share my hurt. "Jim denied everything I did for him, George." He shrugs, his eyes distant. "Let Jim live, Nora. Stop stirring." His words sting, his envy of Henry's success, a bridge-building engineer still raw after all these years. "I gave up everything for them," I murmur, my voice breaking. George looks away, but a flicker of regret crosses his face, gone as fast as it came. I feel alone, the jazz's soft hum mocking my isolation. My sacrifices, nights nursing, skipping art school, seem invisible to everyone but me. My phone buzzes, Lily Carter's name lighting up. I step away, the lilac scent fading, and answer. "Nora, use that letter," Lily urges, her voice firm at 70. "I lost my daughter to silence over a fight about my teaching career. Don't let Jim silence you." Her words, sharp with her own pain, hit home. I nod, though she can't see, my resolve growing. "I'm trying, Lily," I say, my voice steadier. Hanging up, I spot Vanessa's purse on a table, left carelessly open. I glance around. Guests are distracted, snapping photos, and peek inside. A receipt catches my eye, a loan shark's name scrawled next to a payment signed V. Reed. My pulse races. Vanessa's neck deep in Jim's schemes, not just pulling his strings, but tying them tighter. I slip the receipt into my purse, my hands trembling. Ethan, my grandson, waves from the photo booth, his college hoodie out of place among the suits. He jogs over, his face serious. "Grandma, you okay?" he asks, his voice low. "Vanessa's out of control." I nod, clutching my purse. "I'm finding out why, Ethan." Wordy, his eyes, so like Henry's, spark with fairness. "I've got your back," he says, and I believe him. He's 18, but his loyalty outshines Jim's betrayal. I overhear Jim and Vanessa by the fountain, their voices hushed but sharp. "If she finds out about the loans, we're done," Vanessa hisses. Jim mutters, "She won't." My anger surges, a fire I can't douse. They're using me, both of them. I step back, the jazz softening, my resolve like steel. "Vanessa's using Jim, and he's using me," I whisper. "I'll stop this." Can I save them or only myself? The question hangs, heavy as the receipt in my purse. The receipt names a loan shark meeting Vanessa tomorrow. What will I do? The party's hum fades, the wedding morning looming, my heart set on action. Jim smashes my nursing badge, his voice venomous. "This means nothing now, Mom." The Lakewood Park buzzes with life. 4th of July banners flapping in the breeze, red, white, and blue against the green grass. Kids lick ice cream cones, their laughter sharp as I stand by a picnic table, my cane sinking slightly into the soft earth. I'm Eleanor Bennett. Nora, 78. My heart pounding with the weight of Henry's letter and that loan shark receipt from Vanessa's purse. "Jim, you swore to care for me," Henry wrote, a promise my son broke, his debts piling up like secrets. I asked Jim to meet me here, away from Lakeside Estates glitter, to face the truth. The air smells of melting vanilla and distant hot dogs, but my stomach churns. I want my son back, not this stranger drowning in debt and Vanessa's grip. Jim strides up, his suit rumpled, his eyes hard. "Mom, what's this about?" he snaps, hands in his pockets. I pull the letter from my purse, my fingers trembling. "You swore to Henry you'd care for me," I say, my voice steady despite the ache. "But you've only taken." His face darkens, and he snatches the letter, skimming it. "You're a burden, Mom," he shouts, loud enough for kids nearby to pause, ice cream dripping. He grabs my nursing badge, a silver pin Henry gave me when I got my license, and smashes it against the table. "This means nothing now." The metal cracks, the sound like a gunshot in my heart. Ethan, my grandson, gasps from a nearby bench, his college hoodie bright against the crowd. My eyes sting, but I won't cry. "I gave up everything for you," I whisper, my voice breaking. Jim scoffs. "Stop living in the past." Vanessa appears, her heels clicking, her face a mask of fury. "What's this drama, Nora?" she hisses, stepping close. "Stay out of our wedding." Before I can respond, she shoves me, her hands hard against my shoulders. I stumble, my cane catching me, pain shooting through my knees. Ethan leaps up, shouting, "You're wrong, Dad!" His voice cracks, 18 but fierce with fairness. Kids stare, their ice cream forgotten, as Vanessa glares. "You're ruining everything, Nora!" she snaps, her eyes wild with fear. I see it now. Her polished charm hides panic, her modest past pushing her to control this lavish wedding. My anger surges, a fire fed by Jim's cruelty, Vanessa's aggression. I gave up art school, nights with Henry. For this? I drive home, my hands tight on the wheel, Ethan's words echoing. "You're wrong." My Victorian house feels smaller, papers scattered across the dining table. My phone buzzes. Clara, my daughter, her voice soft in a voicemail. "Mom, I missed your strength," she says. "I was hurt when you missed my wedding, but I'm here now." Her words, tied to that hospital shift I couldn't skip, spark hope. But my anger burns brighter. I rummage through my purse, pulling out Vanessa's receipt, left in her haste at Lakeside. It details a loan shark payment signed V. Reed, proof she's neck-deep in Jim's schemes. My pulse races, the badge's broken pieces heavy in my pocket. They've used me, both of them, and I'm done. I sit at the table, the house creaking around me, and grip a pen. Was I ever enough? I murmur, my anger ablaze, my resolve hardening. Did I raise him, or did he erase me? Clara's call, Ethan's stand, Lily's urging, they fuel me. I start writing a letter to Vanessa, outlining Jim's broken promise, her loan shark ties. The park's chatter fades in my mind, replaced by the scratch of my pen, the wedding day looming. The receipt says Vanessa's meeting the loan shark tomorrow. What will I do? I pause, my heart like steel, ready to face them both. Vanessa's taunt burns like acid. You're a pathetic old relic, Nora. Her hand hovers, threatening. The sun glints off lakeside estates' marble columns, the wedding day alive with a live band's classic rock riffs. Guests snap Bennett wedding selfies, their laughter mixing with the clink of champagne flutes. The buffet steams with grilled chicken and cornbread, the air thick with celebration. I'm Eleanor Bennett. Nora, 78, my lavender dress crisp, my cane steady on the stone terrace. The loan shark receipt from Vanessa's purse, tucked beside Henry's letter in my bag, pulses like a second heartbeat. Jim, you swore to care for Nora, Henry wrote. A vow my son shattered. Vanessa's schemes, her name tied to those debts, fuel my anger. I came to be part of Jim's day, but their mockery, Vanessa's too old, Jim's you're a burden, stings like salt in a wound. I grip my cane, resolve hardening. I step into the garden, the band playing a slow Eagles tune, guests swaying. Claire Thompson, the planner, directs waiters with a clipboard, her smile tight. I'm led to a table near the kitchen, far from the head table's glow. My heart sinks, but I lift my chin, elegant despite the slight. Vanessa sweeps by, her ivory gown shimmering, her eyes sharp. A relic, Nora, she sneers, loud enough for guests to turn, her hand hovering as if to push me. Whispers ripple, forks pausing over cornbread. I'm here for Jim, I say, my voice steady, but her laugh cuts deep. You're so out of touch, she says, her hand twitching, threatening. My cheeks burn, humiliation searing, but I won't break. I paid for this wedding, gave up art school, nights with Henry, for Jim. And he stands there by the buffet, avoiding my gaze, his suit crisp, but his silence loud. Ethan, my grandson, slips beside me, his college hoodie stark among the suits. You don't deserve this, Grandma, he whispers, his voice fierce with love. His eyes, so like Henry's, spark with fairness at 18. Clara, my daughter, hurries over, her face pale. I'm sorry, Mom, for pulling away, she says, her voice trembling. I was wrong about you missing my wedding. Her guilt, tied to that hospital shift I couldn't skip, softens my heart, but Vanessa's taunt echoes, fueling my anger. A guest, an older woman in pearls, leans close, her voice low. Vanessa's in deep with shady loans, she whispers, her eyes darting to the bride. My pulse quickens. The loan shark receipt flashes in my mind, tying Vanessa to Jim's debts. The guest's words confirm it. A crack in Vanessa's facade, her fear of losing status driving her cruelty. I clutch my purse, Henry's letter and the receipt inside, my resolve like iron. My phone buzzes, Lily Carter, my friend, texting, "You're stronger than her, Nora." Her words, rooted in her own estrangement from her daughter, hit home. I think of her story, losing her daughter over a career fight, and my anger shifts to purpose. This ends tomorrow, I murmur, my fingers brushing Henry's wedding ring in my purse, a symbol of the life I gave up. I finalize my letter to Vanessa in my mind, outlining Jim's broken promise, her loan shark ties. The band shifts to a livelier tune, guests snapping photos, but I'm steady, a rock in their storm. A young couple at my table glances over, pity in their eyes, and I straighten, thinking, I'm not nothing. I'll show them. The guests' whisper about Vanessa's shady deal rings in my ears, a final spark. Was I their mother or just their bank? My heart races, resolve blazing as the band's music swells, signaling the ceremony's start. Vanessa's meeting the loan shark tomorrow. What will I do with my letter? I stand, my cane firm, ready to face the day that could break or free me. Vanessa's scream pierces Lakeside Estate. "Get out! You're ruining everything!" Her shove sends me staggering. The floral arch at Lakeside Estate glows with lavender and white roses, the spring sun casting shadows on the manicured lawn. A jazz quartet hums softly, guests clinking champagne glasses, their Dosh Bennett wedding selfies flooding my phone's notifications. I'm Eleanor Bennett, Nora, 78, my lavender dress crisp, my cane trembling in my hand. The letter in my purse, tucked beside Henry's wedding ring, burns with truth. Jim's broken promise, Vanessa's loan shark schemes. I came to see my son's wedding, to feel like family, but their cruelty, Jim's smashed badge, Vanessa's pathetic relic taunt, has left me raw. I stand under the arch, the air thick with the scent of blooming lilacs, my heart torn between pride and pain. I want to believe in Jim, but his betrayal, Henry's words, "You swore to care for Nora," scream louder. I watch Jim's vows, his voice steady as he faces Vanessa, her ivory gown trailing like a dream. "I'll love you forever," he says, and my chest tightens, proud but aching. Vanessa glances my way, her eyes cold, narrowing as if I'm an intruder. I clutch my purse, the letters weight heavy, Henry's ring a reminder of my sacrifices, nights nursing, art school, dreams abandoned for Jim and Clara. The jazz shifts to a slow dance, couples swaying, but I'm rooted, an outsider in my son's world. Guests whisper, their champagne toasts clinking, and I feel their eyes, pitying or judging. My resolve hardens. I'm here. I matter, no matter what Vanessa thinks. At the reception, the lawn buzzes, tables draped in white, cornbread and grilled chicken steaming. I'm seated near the kitchen, the clatter of dishes a stark contrast to the head table's glow. Vanessa sweeps over, her smile sharp. "You're stealing attention, Nora," she hisses, loud enough for guests to turn. "Get out! You're ruining everything!" Her hands shove my shoulders hard, and I stumble, my cane slipping. Guests freeze, champagne glasses clinking silent, their gasps slicing the air. My knees scream, but I catch myself, my face burning with humiliation. "I paid for this," I say, my voice low, trembling. Vanessa laughs, her eyes wild. "You're nothing here." The words cut, a public wound, and the crowd's murmurs grow, their phones pausing mid-selfie. Jim strides over, his face flushed. "You're embarrassing us, Mom," he says, taking my arm, escorting me toward the exit. "You brought this on yourself." His words are a knife, twisting the betrayal deeper. Ethan, my grandson, pushes through the crowd, his college hoodie stark. "She's your mom," he shouts, his voice cracking at 18, fierce with love. "You're wrong, Dad." Clara, my daughter, appears, her eyes wet. "I'm with you, Mom," she whispers, her hand brushing mine, her guilt over my missed wedding fueling her loyalty. I meet her gaze, my heart swelling, but Jim's grip tightens, pulling me away. The jazz fades, the crowd's whispers a roar in my ears. I've given everything, my dreams, my savings, for this. I break free, standing tall, my cane firm. "I'm done being your bank," I declare, my voice ringing, defiance blazing. Guests stare, shocked as I clutch Henry's ring, the letter in my purse ready to explode. Ethan steps closer. "I've got you, Grandma." Clara nods, her face resolute. Vanessa's scream, Jim's betrayal. They've broken something, but not me. I walk toward the exit, my steps slow but sure, the ring cold in my palm. At home, I seal the letter to Vanessa, enclosing Henry's ring, vowing to send it tomorrow. Have I ever been enough? The question lingers, my resolve unyielding as the estate's lights dim, my cab humming into the night. Will my letter break them? My letter to Vanessa, sealed with Henry's ring, trembles in my hand. It's time to end their lies. Lakeside Estate's marble halls echo with post-wedding chaos. the air thick with the scent of spilled champagne and wilting lilacs. I'm Eleanor Bennett, Nora, 78. My lavender dress wrinkled from last night's humiliation, my cane firm against the polished floor. That guest's whisper about Vanessa's shady deal and the loan shark receipt burn in my mind, tucked beside the letter in my purse. Henry's words, "Jim, you swore to care for Nora." And Vanessa's scream, "Get out!" fuel my resolve. I'm here at the billing office, my heart pounding, ready to reclaim my worth. I gave up art school, nights with Henry for Jim, but no more. I'm done being their bank. Sarah Mitchell, the estate's representative, stands behind a desk, her clipboard neat. "Mrs. Bennett, about the balance," she starts, her voice professional but strained. I take a breath, my voice steady. "I'm canceling the payments, Sarah." Her eyes widen, but Jim bursts in, his suit disheveled, his face pale. "Mom, you can't do this," he pleads, his hands flailing. "You'll ruin us." I meet his gaze, my anger a quiet fire. "You used me, Jim," I say, my words sharp. "You broke your promise to Henry." He flinches, guilt flickering, but snaps. "You're selfish, Mom." The insult stings, but I stand tall. The receipt's truth. Vanessa's loan, shark ties, bolstering me. Sarah sighs. "We need the balance by tomorrow or it's legal action." I nod, unyielding, my resolve like steel. I walk back to the reception hall, the band gone, guests lingering over coffee and cornbread. Vanessa spots me, her ivory gown swapped for a tight dress, her eyes blazing. I pull the letter from my purse, Henry's ring glinting inside, and face the crowd, my voice clear. "Jim broke his promise to my husband, Henry," I read, my hands steady. "He swore to care for me, but he's taken everything. Vanessa hid loan shark debts to fund this wedding." Gasps ripple, phones pausing mid-selfie. Ethan, my grandson, steps forward, his voice fierce at 18. "Dad, you failed her," he says, reading a line from the letter. I drop Henry's ring into the envelope, a symbol of my severed ties, and hand it to Vanessa. She screams, "You vindictive hag!" Her face twisting, control collapsing. Guests whisper, their eyes wide, and I feel their shock, their judgment shifting to Jim and Vanessa. Vanessa lunges forward, but Jim grabs her arm, his face ashen. "Enough," he mutters, and they storm off, her heels clicking. Clara, my daughter, rushes to me, her eyes wet. "I'm so sorry, Mom," she says, embracing me. "I see you now, your strength." Her words tied to my missing her wedding for a hospital shift heal a wound. Ethan grips my hand. "You're my hero, Grandma." I feel weightless, free, as if the ring's weight lifted with my words. "I'm free," I whisper, my heart light, the crowd's murmurs fading. I've lost a son, but I've gained myself. Back home, the suburban mailbox with its American flag sticker stands quiet, a diner's blueberry pancake scent drifting nearby. Sarah's warning letter arrives, lawsuits coming if unpaid. My resolve overshadows it. I've done what's right. Did I lose a son or gain myself? The question settles, my heart unburdened as the estate's chaos fades, the diner's warmth wrapping around me. Will I face legal trouble? I sit at my table, the letter sent, my future open. Fresh paint in my new apartment smells like freedom. I'm starting over. Sunlight streams through my Lakewood apartment's windows, the walls bright with new paint, a blank canvas for my life. I'm Eleanor Bennett, Nora, 78, my cane resting by the door. The Victorian house, heavy with memories of Henry, is gone, sold to a young family whose laughter echoes in my mind. Henry's ring, left with Vanessa in that letter, marked the end of Jim's hold on me. My garden, just planted outside, hints at new roots, green shoots pushing through the soil. Across the street, a Starbucks hums, its coffee scent mingling with the farmer's market's chatter nearby. I'm free, unburdened by Jim's betrayal. Vanessa's scream, "Get out!" A fading echo. I'm building a life for me. I step onto my balcony, the air warm with spring. My phone buzzes. Sarah Mitchell from Lakeside Estate. "Nora, the lawsuit's dropped." she says, her voice clipped. Jim took a loan to pay the balance. I smile, my heart light. Thank you, Sarah, I say, hanging up. Jim and Vanessa's absence feels like a gift, their chaos replaced by this quiet. I kneel by my garden, my knees aching, and pat the soil around a marigold. This is mine now, I whisper, the dirt cool under my fingers. I gave up art school, nights with Henry for Jim and Clara, but now I'm planting for myself. The farmers' market's vendors call out, offering strawberries, and I feel a joy I thought I'd lost. At the community center, iPads glow in the seniors' tech class, the room buzzing with chatter. I'm teaching today, sharing my gardening blog's tricks. Walter Brooks, a widower with a neat gray beard, approaches, his eyes kind. Your blog's inspiring, Nora, he says, his voice warm. Those urban gardening tips? Gold. I blush, my fingers brushing my lavender scarf. Just something to keep me busy, I say, but his smile deepens. You're more than busy, you're alive. And we talk, his stories spilling out. His wife lost to cancer, his days empty until now. I get it, I say, my voice soft. Henry's gone 15 years, but I'm finding my way. A spark ignites, his hand brushing mine, and my heart flutters, a feeling I thought was buried with Henry. The center's air smells of coffee and new books, grounding this American moment, a new beginning. Clara arrives at my apartment, her eyes soft. I was wrong, Mom, she says, hugging me. I missed your strength, blaming you for missing my wedding. Her guilt, tied to that hospital shift I couldn't skip, dissolves in her embrace. You're here now, I say, my voice catching. George, Henry's brother, follows, his face sheepish. I envied Henry, not you, he admits, his voice low. You're incredible, Nora. His regret, rooted in years of sibling rivalry, lifts a weight. Ethan bursts in, his college hoodie bright. You're my hero, Grandma, he says, grinning, pride in his 18-year-old eyes. My phone rings. Lily Carter, my friend, cheering. You're unstoppable, Nora. Her voice, shaped by her own daughter's estrangement, carries shared triumph. I laugh, the sound free, my heart full. I step back to my garden, the marigolds blooming, mirroring my liberation. I'm starting over, for me, I murmur, my fingers tracing a petal. Walter slips a note into my hand, his smile shy. Spend the summer by the sea with me. It reads, a coastal village's promise. My pulse races. Can I love again at 78? The Starbucks hum fades, the farmers' market's chatter softening, coastal waves calling in my mind. Will I say yes? My heart, open as the sky, whispers possibility. The coastal sun warms my face, seagulls soaring overhead. I'm free, finally. I stand on the sandy shore of this fishing village, the white houses with their blue shutters gleaming under the spring light. Waves crash rhythmically, a salty breeze carrying the scent of freedom and the nearby diner's clam chowder. I'm Eleanor Bennett, Nora, 78, my cane sinking slightly into the sand, my lavender scarf fluttering. The weight of Lakeside Estates' chaos, Vanessa's scream, get out, and Jim's betrayal, you brought this on yourself, has faded like a bad dream. Henry's memory lingers, a gentle blessing on this new path, his wedding ring, left with Vanessa in that letter, a symbol of closure. My Victorian home, once heavy with memories, is gone, sold to a young family whose laughter I imagine echoing through its halls. Here in this village, I'm building a life for myself, not for Jim or the family that used me as a bank. Walter Brooks walks beside me, his gray beard catching the sunlight, his eyes kind. You make life brighter, Nora, he says, handing me a smooth pearlescent shell, its edges softened by the sea. I smile, my fingers brushing the shell's cool surface. You too, Walter, I reply, my voice soft but sure. At 78, I never thought I'd feel this spark, this flutter in my chest. We stroll along the beach, the boardwalk festival humming nearby, its music and chatter weaving through the air, cotton candy sweetness, the sizzle of fried clams, An American summer in full bloom. Walter shares his story, his voice low, steady. Lost my Ellen to cancer 5 years ago, he says, his eyes on the horizon. Thought I'd never laugh again till I met you. I nod, my throat tight. Henry's been gone 15 years, I say. I thought my life ended with him. The waves crash, a rhythm of renewal, and I feel alive, my heart open in a way I thought was buried. We pause by a dune, the sand warm under my shoes. I think of Henry, his engineer's hands sketching bridges, his promise we'd travel one day. I gave up art school for Jim and Clara, worked double shifts as a nurse to fund their dreams, but they drifted. Jim to his debts, Clara to her resentment. Now, here, with Walter, I'm sketching my own future. You're different, Nora, he says, his hand brushing mine. Stronger than you know. I blush, the shell in my pocket a small treasure, a symbol of this new chapter. The festival's laughter floats over, kids chasing balloons, couples dancing to a steel drum band. It's American, vibrant, a world I'm part of again. I'm not the woman who stood under Lakeside's floral arch, humiliated, invisible. I'm Nora, and I'm enough. Back at the rented village house, a cozy cottage with white clapboard walls, my phone buzzes. Ethan, my grandson, grins through a video call, his dorm room a chaos of biology textbooks. You're glowing, Grandma, he says, his 18-year-old voice bright with pride. I'm visiting soon, got a break from college. His loyalty, forged through my stand against Jim, binds us like a lifeline. You better, honey, I tease, my smile wide. I've got shells to show you. Ethan's eyes, so like Henry's, sparkle. You're my hero, Grandma, always, he says, and my heart swells, the pain of Jim's "you're a burden" fading. I gave up so much for my kids, but Ethan sees me, not my checkbook. His visits, his stories, keep me grounded, a thread to the family I still have. The phone rings again. Clara, my daughter, her voice warm. Mom, I'm bringing the kids next week, she says, her tone light, free of the old bitterness. I want them to know you, your strength. Her words heal the wound of missing her wedding when I was stuck in the hospital saving lives. I'd love that, I say, my voice catching. Clara's reconciliation, sparked by my confrontation at Lakeside, feels like a gift. She was angry when I missed her big day, but now she sees the mother who worked nights, who gave up sketching in Paris for her and Jim. The cottage's windows rattle in the breeze, the seas roar a steady backdrop, and I feel whole. My family redefined not by blood, but by love. Lily Carter calls next, her 70-year-old voice bursting with pride. You're unstoppable, Nora, she says, laughing. I lost my daughter to a fight over my teaching career, but you've won. Her triumph, born from her own estrangement, mirrors mine. I met Lily at the library's computer class, her wit sharp, her pain familiar. You pushed me to stand up, I say, my voice soft. Couldn't have done it without you. She chuckles. Keep blogging, Nora. You're a star. My gardening blog, a hobby that grew from Ethan's tech lessons, now has thousands of followers, my urban gardening tips spreading like wildflowers. I'm not just a nurse, a mother, a widow. I'm a voice, sharing wisdom, building community. The festival's music drifts in, a steel drums beat, and I laugh, the sound free, my heart unburdened. At sunset, the sky burns orange, waves glinting like polished glass. I stand on the cottage porch, Walter beside me, his hand warm on mine. I pull Henry's photo from my pocket, a small print I kept, his smile gentle. I'm stronger than I knew, Henry. I whisper, the sea swallowing my words. He'd approve of this life, this village, this man who makes me laugh. I gave up everything for Jim and Clara, night sketching, dreams of painting by the Seine, but here I'm painting my own story. Let's stay here for the summer, I say to Walter, my voice steady, embracing this life. Nora, you make me happy, he says, his eyes bright. and I feel it too, a joy at 78 I never dreamed possible. The festival's lights twinkle, seagulls calling, and my future stretches wide, a canvas of possibility. I walk to the shore, the sand cool under my feet, Walter's arm steadying me. The waves crash, a rhythm of peace, and I think of Jim, his absence, a quiet ache. He and Vanessa paid Lakeside's bill with a loan, their lives tangled in debt, but I'm free of their weight. Clara's kids, Ethan's visits, Lily's cheers, they're my family now, chosen, not owed. My blog's success, the messages from readers, fills me with purpose, a new kind of maternal love, not for one, but for many. I'm not the woman who stood in Lakeside's chaos, clutching Henry's ring, humiliated. I'm Nora, finally. Was I their mother or just their bank? Now I'm me. The sea whispers back, its voice eternal, my peace complete. But as the stars emerge, a new thought stirs, a ripple in my calm. What else can I build here? By this sea, with this life I've claimed? The sea's whisper lingers, a promise of peace after Vanessa's cruel words and Jim's betrayal cut me deep. I'm Eleanor Bennett, Nora, and through the pain of being dismissed as a mere bank, I found my strength in Lakewood's quiet moments and Ethan's fierce loyalty. Family isn't just blood, it's the ones who see your heart, like Ethan and Clara, who learn to cherish me again. In life, we may give everything for others, but true bonds grow from respect, not obligation. Standing up for my worth taught me that love, even when tested, can bloom anew if we hold fast to ourselves. If this story touched you, share your thoughts with a friend or in a comment below. Your voice, like mine, deserves to be heard.